The first time I saw her, I wasn't wearing my prescription glasses, so I wasn't sure if she was a mangy old bobcat or an abandoned dog. It was a Saturday in July. I was in the middle of a 2-week work trip in a coastal Georgia town. I had the day off, so I was exploring some swampy, back road historical sites, and that's how I came to be in that empty dirt parking lot. I whistled. She started towards me. I could see hunks of fur flopping along her skinny body. A butterfly floated between us, and she stopped, captivated, her little head mimicking the erratic flight. Well, my plans for the day were shot. There was no way I was leaving such a whimsical little pup in such a dangerous spot. At least not for long. She wouldn't let me touch her, so I drove back to a country store, bought some food and water. She watched me pour it out in a shady corner of the lot and then settle some distance away. After she ate, she got closer, still not close enough. I had a blanket in the car, and when I rose to get it, she blocked my path, as if to say, please, just give me a little more time. I reassured her, laid the blanket out, and sat down. She circled around to my side and settled just off the edge of the blanket. A white pickup truck passed by, turned around, and pulled into the lot. The only occupant, a man, just sat there, watching us. I looked at her. She stepped onto the blanket, and I said, "Let's go, girl," praying that she wouldn't try to bite or run. I scooped her up. She snuggled close. I got the blanket and got in the car. I'll never know his motivations, but I do know that neither she nor I felt safe. I headed towards the nearest PetSmart, thinking the only thing I could do for her was to give her to whatever rescue was working that weekend. Meanwhile, from the passenger seat, she began the audition to become my best friend. Tail wagging furiously, beaming at me as though we were long-lost pals. I told myself, nope, can't get too attached. I mean, this is a hopeless situation. I'm in the middle of a respectable adult business trip. Get it together. Instead, I focused on the fleas I could see walking across her face. Of course, I didn't have a leash, so I had to carry her into the store, the flea bag. And we must have been a sight because several people stopped us asking if they could give us money or food. And I just laughed and said, "Oh, no, I'm just here to help a girl along her path." We started in the vet clinic, and I asked if they could treat her for fleas and check her for a microchip. She had one. Turns out, she was a poodle terrier mix, a pooter. Her name, Karma. While they called her owners, I had a little conversation. Good karma, bad karma. Go get 'em, Karma. Seemed a pretty hefty name for such a scrawny little beast. They had to leave a message, so while we were waiting, I borrowed a leash and said, I'll walk her over to the rescue and make arrangements just in case. Then I took the longest walk possible across the store. When I got to the rescue, I was surprised to find it breed specific. And that breed, Great Dane, not Pooter. Before I could talk to anyone, though, the vet tech intercepted me. We heard from Karma's owners. They're military folk. They were deployed. They gave Karma away. They don't want her to go back to those people. Not to worry, I said, having acknowledged the signs from the universe. I took the information on how to transfer the chip, made arrangements with a nice lady from the Dane Rescue, bought a bed, some more food, a leash, toys, all the things. Kissed her ratty little head and said, I'll see you when my work is done in a few days. Then I left to call my partner with the good news. Karma threw up 5 times on the drive back to North Carolina. That was over 15 years ago. And it took me a while to come to terms with the fact that I was simply Casey. That's what we renamed her. I was simply Casey's mode of transport to get from the swamps of Georgia to the true love of her life, my partner, Marnie. She became the grande dame of our family, the third adult. Sadly, we had to say goodbye just over a year ago. Most of her hearing had gone and her big, big heart had failed. But that last spring and early days of summer, on her good days, her eyes, they were so bright. And she was still captivated by the beauty of a butterfly passing through.
Leslie, everybody.